Intro. Today, I'm going to be talking about Daniel Larson. If you don't know who Daniel Larson is, it is very important that you watch my video, The Never-Ending Story of Daniel Larson, as it helps you understand who he is and what all he has done. To understand what's going on now and to have full context, you need to watch the other episodes in the series. Those are on a playlist on my channel. Just go to my channel, go to the playlist section on my channel, and press or click on the playlist that is titled Daniel Larson. The episodes are in order from first to current. Thank you all for the support. More videos are coming out soon. If you like this video, I also do other videos on different topics. I recommend the pyrocynical video I made not too long ago. That is also in a playlist of its own that you can go check out. Thank you all for the support. Make sure to like and subscribe, and enjoy. Daniel released. Daniel was released on March 1st, which was the day before my video came out about him. How he got released, I have no idea. After Daniel got released, he made a video basically saying he was back, and then also made another video saying that his card was locked after he got released due to how long he wasn't using it for. Whether that is true or not, I have no idea. I don't think that's how it works. It might work that way, but who knows. He also, sometime after getting released, got a haircut. How? I have no idea, because haircuts cost money. And also, the haircut's not really good, so I'm guessing it wasn't from a barber. But I didn't see any fan actually, give him a haircut or anything this time, so I don't know. It's probably maybe Bob's doing, or one of his quote-unquote managers that lives close by.
Hey everyone, it is March 2024, and this is my new haircut.
People have said that he might be balding after his recent haircut. Comparing an old picture to now, it kind of looks that way. We also thought this after the incident, the last housing incident where he got kicked out because he hit his head a bunch. And you can also kind of see where he hit his head right there. There's always been now a spot there, like a little thinner spot of hair, which I guess kind of makes sense considering I think he got a good hit on his head and scraped the skin a bit. Daniel said he supposedly got R-worded in jail, which from what it sounds like he was in protective custody, and the likeliness of that is kind of iffy. I don't really know how protective custody works, as all the prison shows I watched don't really talk about protective custody, but the people that are in protective custody are in there for reasons that he said, so who knows if that's true. He's also just a big liar. 2 days after Daniel got out, he got the police called on him, supposedly because he told people where he was at, posted online or something, and people ended up calling the place he was at. Who is Clark? Daniel in the past has talked to and hung out with a guy named Dylan Clark. He actually appeared on one of my episodes as he interviewed Daniel and had phone calls that I can't remember if I used or not with Daniel as well. To go on, Dylan, which like Daniel, also has a past of threatening government areas. As the Reddit found an article on Dylan Clark talking about him getting a prison sentence for threatening school shooting sites. The article reads as follows. Teen gets prison for calls to school shooting sites. Detroit. An apologetic and emotional teenager told a judge Tuesday that it was a cry for help when he made a series of threatening and harassing phone calls to schools nationwide that were the sites of schools, including Sandy Hook Elementary School and Arapahoe High School. I think that's how you said it, I don't know. Dylan says himself, quote, I'm just talk. I'm all talk. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to say it. Dylan Clark telling Macomb County Circuit Judge Mary Strzelanowski, I guess is how you say it as well, it's a hard last name, that he wants to go home to his mother. The 18-year-old Sterling Heights, Michigan man was sentenced to 3 years in the Holmes Youthful Trainee Act prison. Clark, who had no prior criminal record, pleaded guilty to a false report or threat of terrorism and using a computer to commit a crime. Quote from Dylan Clark, I'm taking full responsibility for my actions. I'm not a threat to anyone. That was wrong of me. I didn't know the ramifications. I'm sorry for what I did, Clark said before being sentenced. If Clark complies with the conditions of the charges to which he previously pleaded guilty, they will be erased from his criminal record, his attorney Mark Haddad said. Holmes Youthful Trainee Act prison is available to defendants ages 17 to 20. Several people in the courtroom called the sentence a gift. Quote, I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't a prank. It was a cry for help. Dylan Clark, 18, in comments to the judge. Clark told Strzelanowski he does, quote, stuff for attention and, quote, stupid things, when he is high. He said he didn't mean to scare people when he made the calls earlier this year when he was 17, and that he was suicidal. He promised not to mess up in the future, which, getting high, like, there's no way you use that as an excuse. Quote, quote, I just wanted some attention. I just wanted people to stop making fun of me and people from calling me names on Facebook. The handcuffed teen told the judge, sobbing at times, I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't a prank. It was a cry for help. It wasn't a prank? This is just strange. Sterling Heights police said the caller ID blocked calls that were made February 11th to Sandy Hook in Newtown, Connecticut, and threatening phone call was made the same day to Arapahoe in Colorado, in which the caller threatened to burn down the school. Police said there was also calls to Virginia Tech and Columbine High School, also in Colorado. The calls to Sandy Hook Elementary involved a younger male repeatedly making references to and claiming to be a relative of the caller, then named all of the children who died. Police said 20 children and 6 adults died in that school in December of 2012. Arapahoe High School also received threatening phone call that originated from the same Sterling Heights residence. Extra officers were sent to the school in response. One student was killed at Arapahoe High School in December. Haddad said that he was looking for the youth status, but with possibility of probation. He said that he was, quote, quote, a little disappointed with the sentence, but understood why Strzowski did what she did. Clark is to be reviewed every 6 months, with the first review in May. Quote, quote, I'm convinced he's a harmless man. I know he'll do well. I hope he'll get out before the 3 years, Haddad said. Clark's mother and grandmother declined to comment after the sentencing. Assistant Prosecutor John Paul Hunt said Clark's behavior speaks for itself and won't be tolerated. He said he wasn't moved by Clark's tears and his behavior is atrocious. Quote, quote, he did a dumb thing, Hunt said. I thought this was somewhat interesting and extra info for all of you. I don't know anything else about him. Him and Daniel did hang out in a dorm or apartment, which I think is weird. As you can see in a picture that went around on the internet. I don't know if I have it for you all. But Dylan Clark was like hanging out with him in a room of sorts because you could see a bunk bed, which made me assume it was a dorm. Maybe he's a changed man, but who truly knows? And him hanging out with Daniel is a little strange, considering if I got out, I wouldn't want to be around bad people anymore. The Walmart incident arrest footage. If you don't remember, on July 11th of 2023, Daniel got arrested after someone saved a dog he had from him, cause when he figured out someone took the dog he had a breakdown and ended up going into a Walmart, breaking some things, and fighting with police. The police footage has now been released, and here it is.
Your arm, so until we get figured out, we're just detaining you, all right?
Okay.
You just relax.
Okay.
So that's the west side. So everything from the arch. Turn them on at night. Insides. First yeah, she's waiting over there, the bus driver, so.
Okay. Would you be more comfortable sitting up? All right, you can sit up. Security takes care of it, all right?
Okay.
Looks like you've already got a bit of a mess before it get worse, right?
Okay.
It's Daniel.
Daniel? Daniel, what's your last name?
Take a couple breaths for us. The only way we're going to be able to figure out what's going on is if you can calm down and tell us, all right? So you need to take a few breaths and get to where you can talk normal.
Daniel, what's your birthday, brother?
You're going to go talk to the bus driver, see what's up there.
Sure.
I'll start there.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's like maroon shirt. She should be standing by the service desk. Yeah.
Coming in.
Daniel, we got the paramedics coming to check on you, okay? All right, what's going on today?
So I just bought a dog, adopted a dog 2 days ago, and I'm a singer-songwriter, and I got a massive internet fan base.
Okay.
And I just had some fan walk up to me over at the Good Times. I was sitting outside, and just walked up on me
Okay.
I was giving my dog water because I was going to be staying at the Motel 6. They don't have a room yet.
Okay.
I was going to be staying at the Motel 6. I am currently homeless,
Okay.
so I don't have any money.
Sure.
I pretty much spent all my money on the dog because I was going to use it as a guard dog for my puppy when we're
Okay.
And this person who I guess has a background in just told me, drove up the car, told me that she was a veterinarian, and just randomly grabbed my dog from me on leash, and just immediately ran to the car while I was still sitting down. I grabbed my stuff. By the time I got over to the car, just drove off.
Okay.
With the dog.
Okay.
That I literally just spent all my money. Not all my money, but 99.9%.
Sure.
And I panicked because I just went to PetSmart and I bought $100 worth of stuff, almost. And like I said, I just don't have a lot of money because I'm homeless.
Where's all your stuff at right now?
All I know is it's in the entryway, kind of just right there. And I panicked. I panicked because I'm homeless. My popularity, I wanted a guard dog, and it just, I just freaked out. I tried to come over here for help, over to the Walmart. I was just panicked, and
is that why you were hitting yourself and all that?
That's why I was hitting myself.
Okay.
Because I was panicked.
Okay.
I didn't mean to do at all what I was doing. I just came in and just me crying pretty much, and just they told me to leave. I refused because I wanted to come in here and ask for help. By that time, two the employees were just being overly aggressive, which freaked me out more, and I acted on it here.
Okay.
That's
all right. Paramedics are here. We'll talk a little more after they get a chance to talk to you. You said Daniel Larson?
It's Daniel, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't put hands on anyone at first.
Okay. This is Daniel. This is all self-inflicted.
Okay. Are you my bus driver?
Yep.
So, give me a rundown of what we got going on.
Okay, so I was just we were
Start from the
sitting
beginning
waiting for
for
my
me.
shopper special. I sit right here in the front, and he started walking in front of the bus,
Okay.
and he was swinging that
Swinging
that,
a leash.
and
Okay.
it just hit the window and whack. And so
Well, that had
the
to wake
guy
you
was
up.
following behind him.
Yeah.
A man was following behind him, and he has a black guy, Hispanic man,
Okay.
wearing a gray shirt and blue jeans, and he was like trying to stop him.
Okay.
And then that guy kept on going. Well, the guy with the black eye tried to get on my bus, and he was just like, I was like, no, this is for the seniors. And he was like, well, I'm a senior, I'm getting on this bus. And I said, no, you got to get off.
Okay.
And then by then I was already calling dispatch.
Good.
And then I called it. So they should be sending a supervisor
Okay,
and
very
transit
good.
police.
Let me just say, you're at the front. Let me start with you. Let me get your name just as a witness.
Connie Harvard?
Connie?
Yeah.
C-O-N-N-I-E?
Harvard, like the university.
Awesome. Connie, a date of birth for you, if I may. Leave you guys on the bus. When the windshield thing happened.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry?
I don't understand.
Oh,
Excuse
oh,
me.
thank you. Were you? No? Were you on the bus when it happened?
Yeah.
You were sitting on here when it happened? Okay. Did you see the guy that was swinging the bag around?
Yeah, I seen him take it. I heard him, he broke our window. I seen a kid running that way.
Okay.
He looked like a junior high. I don't know how tall he was, but he had a black sweatshirt or a dark blue one. Pretty thin, young man. So
Okay. And saw him running?
yeah.
Okay.
My question. You're dealing with a guy over at the Walmart who was having a very bad day.
He said, I think he might have been in here or was coming in here.
Does he have a dog?
Yes.
German Shepherd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I received a phone call on him that the dog was in distress. And the customer was going to call animal control
Okay.
to check on the dog because he felt that the dog was in distress.
Sure.
I never seen him in the store. I only seen him out here adjusting his collar or something, and then he got into his backpack, and then I didn't see him anymore.
Okay. Because according to him, someone took his dog.
Took his dog?
Yeah, while he was sitting over at the Good Times. So I just wondered if you guys knew anything about that.
No.
He was just hanging out outside there?
So he was right outside these windows here.
Okay.
Was the only time that I saw him. I didn't see him in here, but
Okay.
again, I run around all over the place.
Sure, yeah.
And then when the customer called me, I said, I don't know if he's part of the homeless camp that's over here in the area. He goes, well, I'm going to call animal control because the dog's in distress. So they need to go over there and figure out what's going on with the dog because he was panting, I guess, a lot.
This is probably the worst day to be a German Shepherd out.
Yeah.
in the heat.
And he said he was really hot. Again, when I looked at the dog, I only saw the top part of the dog. So he was doing something with the collar on him or something. A pink collar. There's a pink collar,
Yeah.
I think is what he had on him. Or on her.
Write down your name, just like.
Yeah,
say that I talked to you.
it's DC. And then
Need these?
Yeah.
Start to feel better? Alright, Daniel. Bad news is, I'm going to write you a ticket for criminal mischief, okay? When you had your thing, there was some stuff you broke, okay? Now this is not saying you're guilty. This is just saying you're going to show up at court and take care of it. So when you go to court, make sure you let them know what all happened. And then, do you want me to do a theft report on your dog as well?
Sure.
Okay. So here, I'll do that. Let's sign this first here, okay? That's just showing you're going to show up at your court date, September 15th. It's out of Jefferson County.
Okay. Do you mind if I put it on my lap so I can look better?
All right, so I remember you telling me about the lady rolling up in the car. Where was this at the PetSmart?
So this was right across from the PetSmart.
Okay.
I was sitting at like the picnic table area at the Good Times.
Okay, that's right. You did say that.
And it was, I know, I don't want to sound crazy with my popularity, but it was a fan, like,
Okay.
supporter of my career.
Do you know them?
I don't know them by name, but I've met up with them once before,
Okay.
and we got lunch. She paid for my lunch, so, I kind of knew her, not fully, but I knew who she was, what she looked like, and I recognized her.
Do you know a screen name or anything like that?
YouTube
YouTube handle?
My YouTube.
Well, I know yours, but
I don't know
know
hers.
hers. Okay. Can you describe her for me?
She was a white female, kind of, I want to say mid-size, kind of like you, muscles.
Okay.
There were also some pictures of the damage caused. I can't remember his sentencing for this situation, but I'm guessing it was anger management, a fine or so, and some other stuff. Again, I cannot really remember. I am sure I said it in the original video talking about the situation. It looks like he did damage to a public bus, or just a bus in general, and then also damaged a screen to a, I guess, something you like an attachment for a vacuum or something. But I thought it was interesting that we actually finally got some more video footage from this, and it's always interesting to see. Daniel kicked out of homeless shelter. Daniel went on a live stream and talked about how he got kicked out and banned for 45 days from a homeless shelter due to an issue with quote quote too much conflict. But Daniel also said something about someone saying stuff on social media. I don't exactly know what that means, but my guess is people called the shelter and ended up telling them and giving info about Daniel, or Daniel was just causing a ruckus in there anyway, which means like the too much conflict thing. It's either called too much or did something on his own, so who really knows. Due to some information that I found, it sounded like Daniel was arguing on the phone with someone while he was there. So that probably had something to do with it. The ban from the homeless shelter was supposedly a violation of probation, which I can't remember exactly what the punishment was for this probation violation. But I remember they said that he can't get like trespassed from anywhere and he can't be, making new cases and such, which he just ended up doing right there. He never got punished for this violation of probation, I guess because it wasn't police called or anything. But if police were called or something of the sort, or like there was an actual paper, then he probably would have been violating probation, or, it would have been on record he violated it. Which would have been very interesting because he could have, been in jail for who knows how long or had a big issue there. Daniel Larson, March 19th arrest. Daniel was arrested on March 19th under the charge, quote, quote, fugitive of justice. The only thing we have is pictures of the arrest happening and an update on the charges, which were a failed-to-pay fine charge, trespassing, criminal mischief, and another trespass. With a combined $1,125 bond, with everything added up, he also had 3 court dates, 2 on March 21st, one at 8:30 in the morning and another one at 1:15 in the afternoon. He then had another court date for the 25th. There is footage of one of the court hearings from the 21st, and here it is.
We'll call Daniel Larson, 23M3592. Allie Brady on behalf of the people.
Garen Gervey from the Public Defender's Office, appearing in person on behalf of Mr. Larson. He appears remotely from the jail.
All right. Good morning. Can you hear us, Mr. Larson?
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you. I'm just going to mute you for background noise, but I'll unmute if you'd like to address the court. This comes on today on appearance and arrest warrant for a probation violation complaint that was filed on February 6th. The court issued a warrant and set bond at $1,000 cash or surety at the condition Mr. Larson report to probation within 48 hours of release or next business day after release from custody and comply with probation. Mr. Gervey, did you advise him on that complaint and the rights that he has with respect to the probation violation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Larson's been advised of his rights as well as the potential penalties if the court were to find he violated probation. At this point, he, being advised, would waive his right to a hearing and admit to the following allegations: that he did not complete the mental health eval with PFA as ordered, that he missed a probation appointment on January 9th of 2024, and that he failed to report his police contact from December 31st with Golden Police Department. Then we'd ask to go forward to resentencing, where I don't believe there's an objection to revoke and reinstate concurrent to Boulder.
And I haven't re-reviewed the complaint. Is he admitting to all the technical violations or those specific ones that you mentioned?
The 3 that were mentioned.
Okay. So I want to make sure I have this correct, that he is admitting he didn't complete the mental health evaluation that was ordered. He missed a probation appointment on January 9th and he failed to report police contacts.
1 police contact.
1 police contact. Okay. Is that your understanding, Mr. Larson, of what you'll be admitting today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you feel like you're making this admission voluntarily of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you thinking clearly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you give up your right to have a hearing on whether you violated probation by admitting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you understand that there's no objection to revoke and reinstate probation with the same terms and conditions. That's a recommendation that comes from the prosecutor. The maximum penalty for this charge, is this a pre-March 1st? I need to make sure that you understand what the no, it's post-March 1st. So maximum penalty for the charge is 120 days in jail. Is that what you advised him of?
Your Honor, I actually said 180, so this is even better.
Okay, 120 days in jail. Should I not agree with the prosecutor and I don't reinstate your probation and I could revoke your probation as unsuccessful and terminate it with jail, that's the maximum jail sentence. I don't know what I'm going to do yet until I hear from all the parties, but do you understand that that's the maximum penalty that could be imposed? Should I not go along with the recommendation to revoke and reinstate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Did you have enough time to speak with your lawyer, Mr. Gerby, about this?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you satisfied with his advice and representation so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for your lawyer or for myself before I ask you whether you admit or deny the specific allegations that you're willing to admit to?
I don't have a question, but I do have information from the Boulder probation. They are helping with housing services and getting my mental health evaluation set up. Pretty
Okay,
much the
that's
same thing that
great to hear. I'm going to
Jefferson
hear all
was
of that
doing.
after I take your admission. And I'm happy to hear from you on that if Mr. Gerby doesn't cover that for you. Okay. So I don't mean to be rude and interrupt you, but I just want to make sure that you understand you will have an opportunity to speak if you'd like. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you whether you admit or deny that you failed to complete the mental health evaluation that was ordered as a condition of probation, whether you admit that you missed your probation appointment on January 9th, and whether you admit that you failed to report the one police contact with Golden Police Department. Do you admit or deny those things, Mr. Larson?
I admit.
I'll accept your admission. I'll find it's a knowing and voluntary admission, that you understand your right to have a hearing and that you're voluntarily waiving your right to have a hearing, that you've done so with the effective assistance of counsel. For the people regarding sentencing, I'll hear from the people first, then from Mr. Gerby on your behalf, and finally from you if you'd like.
Your Honor, I think both the defendant and the community would benefit from the defendant obtaining mental health treatment and certainly obtaining stable housing. It sounds like Boulder is working on that with the defendant through their probation department. I don't usually see much utility in two separate counties supervising the defendant, but frankly, I don't know which one is more accessible to the defendant. I know it was his request to revoke and reinstate here rather than just closing with a jail sentence. So that's my request at this point.
That's what I'm inclined to do, especially in a case where the mental health evaluation was never done. Mr. Gervais, what would Mr. Larson like the court to know?
That he is very hopeful that he's going to be able to take advantage of the resources Boulder is now presenting to him. It does sound like housing instability has been really the crux of his issues and his involvement in the legal system. I think the court knows very well that it's very difficult to get engaged with mental health resources, and it's even more difficult when you don't have a stable address where you can communicate with your mental health providers, where you can get medications and things like that. And so we believe that there's going to be kind of dual linchpins to Mr. Larson's success in the community. Those are going to be housing and mental health treatment and services, and that's what Boulder is getting lined up for him. He is very hopeful. He's still a very young person, and he has a lot of future ahead of him. And I think these cases are a really good opportunity now with some of the resources presented to him to get him on a different track where he eventually gets out of the criminal legal system permanently.
Do you know if Mr. Larson is asking that probation be transferred to Boulder for courtesy supervision?
I think
I
that
can authorize it and then he can speak to Jeffco probation about it.
I think that would make sense given that they have looked into those resources. And I think that if he were to have it supervised here in the first JD, they would probably cease doing that. And so we would ask the court to do that, not impose any additional punitive sanction. He's been in custody 3 days since being
I'm sorry?
arrested. He's been in custody 3 days since being arrested.
Okay. All right, Mr. Larson, is there anything you'd like to say in addition to what Mr. Gervy has told me? I will let you know that I'm inclined to go along with the agreement to revoke and reinstate your probation with the same terms and conditions. I'm also willing to authorize transfer of probation to Boulder. However, you need to arrange that through Jeffco probation. So I'll order that you report to Jeffco probation. Today, if you get out in time before 5 o'clock, come to the courthouse, go to probation on the second floor and check in with them. I'm going to authorize that probation be transferred to Boulder, but it's your responsibility to make sure that Jeffco arranges that on your behalf. Is there anything in addition that you would like to know or say, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Please take advantage of those resources. I will revoke and reinstate your probation with the same terms and conditions. I'll authorize transfer of probation to Boulder to be arranged through Jeffco probation. And I'll order that you report to probation no later than by tomorrow, Friday, March 22nd. But ideally today, you'll check in with them, talk to them about your desire to transfer probation to Boulder and follow their directions, okay? Mainly stay in touch with them. Do you have any
Okay.
questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good luck, Mr. Larson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We learned that he didn't do his court-appointed mental evaluations, of course. I actually wonder what happens if you fail those, or do you just get 5150'd and you just, get took in for your own safety or whatever they say, and, then you go on through all the court stuff or what? I don't really know. But he was required to do these and failed to do so. He also, apparently, I'm guessing, failed to talk to his parole officer or his probation officer or something like that. He failed to talk to someone, which also got him in trouble. Pled guilty to all these things, and he was facing 180 days in jail, which is around 6 months, and was trying to get housing, but the housing services wouldn't allow him to have a phone or at least post on social media, which he refused to stop doing. There's also some things he said on his YouTube community tab, where I guess he spoke to the housing people and at some point brought up Grace and how they were getting married. Apparently he refused the services because they asked about his marriage, like they were asking too many questions, he said on his YouTube community tab. I would 100% believe that Daniel brought up Grace at some point, how he was getting married. And then, they of course ask about what about housing in that situation? But to go on, he got released on the 21st, and I cannot find any footage or anything about the other court hearings or their outcomes. Other than that, he seemed to miss a court date because he's quote, quote, famous and has popularity issues. Daniel stealing. Daniel made a TikTok with his new jacket, but on his YouTube community tab, he admits he stole it. As the community tab post says, quote, quote, I had to take the jacket back to the store because they forgot to take the beeping alarm off. When I first saw this, I started laughing because, dude, they definitely didn't forget to take that off. They take it off when you actually buy it. Daniel's response. Daniel made a lot of responses in weird posts responding to people saying that he is a pedo. He said things like, quote, quote, I don't film children, please stop calling me a pedo. Who films children because there is no video of me filming children? 3 angry cussing emojis. Which this is a lie and was exposed in a Reddit post showing 5 examples of him filming kids. Another community tab post of his says, quote, quote, please stop calling me a pedo now or charges will be pressed. There's also some other community tab posts by Daniel. One of them saying you are only a if you have sex with people, and also another one that said everyone likes people of all ages. Why should age matter? Hand heart emoji. Age is just a number. Laughing emoji. He goes on to say some really weird things. An example would be when someone comments on a video of his saying, Daniel, what do you think about the age of consent? Is it too high or low? He responds with saying, maturity is everything. Then makes a community post saying, you are only a pedophile if you have with people under 18, which he's possibly done or done stuff close to that action from stories we've heard and posts made by him and others about him. He also said, I watch CP now because the FBI and the US Secret Service showed me what it was. Crying laughing emoji. There are also some messages Daniel sent to people that were exposed online. One set said, do you smell like fish during sex? Do old men feel like they nut worms and cry in bed? Which the person was playing along with this whole thing till that question was asked, and they responded with, find God, Daniel. Another message says the thing he always says, Does netting feel like you can't handle the peeing feeling? There's also a screen recorded conversation that he had with someone who they said were 16. The conversation talked about finishing and what adult content Daniel watched, which is a point I want to add in here because he was most likely told by the people he was talking to that they are under 18, but he still proceeds to talk to them this way. I'm going to go over a little bit of the text conversation. I'm just going to go over certain areas of it because there's just some filler. Like a little bit of them playing on oh, I thought you would have a girlfriend because you're so famous and stuff, and just some extra little info that isn't really key points here. But anyway, the first screenshot here says, hey Daniel, how are you? I hope nothing happened to you in jail. I'm okay. How old are you? It was pretty quick to asking that question. That's a turn, but they noticed it too. But I'm 16. How old are you? I'm 25. Cool. Do you have a girlfriend? I don't. Why don't you have a girlfriend? You're so famous, I thought you would have girls all over you. I like to be open. Do you like sex? I like it, but I've never had it before. Oh. What kind of do you like? Finger? I'm a virgin. Just finger? Coochie eating. Just finger? You don't like other? Cream pie. Sounds nice. I want to try it. Really? Yes, it sounds like fun. Would you do it with me? He says yes. I don't even know what to tell you, to be honest, bro. I don't. I really don't. Even if these people said that they were 18 or older in this situation, it doesn't mean that they were 18. Also, in the past, talked to people that he thought were below 18 by a bit, even worse than this. He does not care at all. The final community post I wanted to add here was not in the topic of kids, but he says, I just tried one for the first time and I felt Jesus. Could you imagine if he got addicted to something? I'm surprised he hasn't done anything hard yet. I always expected, I always wondered, why did no one give him a knife, or why did he never go buy, a kitchen knife set, or, a pocket knife or anything for, self-defense, or, why did no one tell him to? Because if someone told him to, he would have definitely already killed someone by now, which I guess it's good that he didn't, but it would be super interesting. He would have actually went to jail for good after that, probably. He would have definitely gotten big trouble for having a knife and probably threatening people with it. Which it was always interesting to me because you can buy a knife. It's harder to buy a gun than it is a knife or a kitchen set. So I just never see why he didn't, or why no one gave him one. Which I can see why no one gave him one, but also no hard substances either is kind of interesting considered where all he's been. So I wonder if we'll ever get those arcs, or if any of that stuff will ever happen. Daniel's threats. On March 8th, Daniel said he would go to... On March 8th, Daniel said he'll go to jail if he stays homeless.
But I just can't keep doing it being homeless. It's way too hard. I will go back to jail if I stay homeless. I really need to figure out a way I can cash out these live gifts. Because if I can actually pocket that money, then I wouldn't have to worry, like I'm worrying now, about the warm days and putting out music fast, even though I want to. I wouldn't have to panic about getting more music out. But either way, I told probation that I promised to get the apartment by the end of the month. So that gives me just under 4 weeks right now. So like I said, by around the week of the 15th of this month, March 2024, I plan on actually filling out applications for an apartment. So, and I think my plan is, since the market dropped earlier today, the financial market. I believe it's a golden opportunity to see if I can get my family to try to help with the hotel for the week. And then it would be my plan, hopefully, is full on skyrocketing the stock market. So just like everybody's talking about with the stock market, I believe that it's going to be 2 weeks of up and down, kind of up, but it's going to be more up and down than up, but it's going to be kind of steady like that. And I believe the third week is going to be a little bit more dramatic going up. And then I believe we're going to hit over 100K in Bitcoin, US Bitcoin, by the end of the month. And then it's only going to go up from there.
Not sure if it was a threat or a reality check of his own, but he also had a very entitled moment where he demanded money from Bob, then threatened to leave the state of Colorado on his YouTube community tab. The post reads, "I can't live on the streets any longer before I commit a federal crime." And he replied to someone's comment, or maybe it was a comment on his own community post or something, who knows. It says, "Major emergency. I just got shot at again during rush hour. Luckily, I'm okay," and had to go along with that. "I just sent more threats to Bob because I'm in danger, and he doesn't seem to understand or care, so I will continue to send threats to him until he cares or until he dies, one or the other." The next threat says, "I'm planning an attack because the FBI framed me and I demand justice. We need a 9/11 style attack to wake people up from being lazy," with a sloth emoji. The entitled post from Daniel is a community tab post saying, "Because Bob didn't ever give me a one-time payment so I could get housing, instead played games with my mental health, I demand $10,000 direct deposit by tomorrow so I can fix my savings and get my quarterly 5% interest." What? Oh, he's talking about in the savings account. Okay. "Or I will leave the state of Colorado." Exclamation mark hazard emoji. Last warning. Exclamation mark hazard emoji. "Look who will be suffering now." Which, I don't know if he knows this or not, but it would be Daniel that suffers. He would be the one that's suffering. And also, threatening to leave the state of Colorado hurts him, as he would be a wanted man by the police. And pretty sure that's another charge. He would, as soon as he came back to Colorado at some point, he would be arrested immediately. Or once he was found by police, he'd be arrested and probably be in jail for the rest of his time. I don't know why he thinks this is such a threat to people, or why anyone should care if he leaves the state. All it would do is entertain everyone that he fled the state and wouldn't be allowed to come back, and if he did, of course, get arrested. And on top of that, like I said before, it only hurts himself. A lot of people have reported these times where he's threatened to leave the state to the police. So the police station definitely knows about his threats to leave the state. There's no way that they don't. The April 2nd incident. On April 2nd, 2024, Daniel pulls another fire alarm. It looks like he pulled it at a hotel, but I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know. I thought it was a fire.
No. Somebody smoking around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He then gets arrested in Lone Tree. It states on the charges that he got arrested for was fugitive of justice. He had a court date for the next day and was released the next day. Daniel also went to the hospital on April Fool's for whatever reason, I don't really know. But there seems to be no footage of the court or any knowledge of the outcome of it. Daniel's April 6th crash out. Daniel on April 6, 2024 had a huge breakdown where he was screaming about killing and bombing Bob, as well as he calls him the N-word a few times. He hits himself some, which I will be censoring. Sorry for the audio being bad at times because of the wind. He also repeatedly says kill, 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 and also goes on to threaten to kill the police and bomb them and the White House. Here's the video.
You, Bob! You! I will bomb your house till the day you die! Bomb you! Bomb you! Bomb you! Bomb you! Kill you! Kill you! Kill you! Call the feds on me, you liar! Bomb! 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 Bomb you! Bomb you! Bomb you! Kill! 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 This is a message to every police in the world. Kill, kill, kill. Kill. Murder. This is the message to the feds. You don't listen to me. I will kill you too. Murder. Bomb you. White House too. Bomb you. Go ahead and ban my channel. Make sure I'm homeless for the rest of my life. You did this to yourself. You did this all to yourself. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. Kill, 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 kill. This is a message to Daniel McDougall. You didn't listen to Bob and me, and this is what you get. Kill, 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 kill. Kill, kill, kill.
This was pretty interesting to see and watch. He did this in public. I think in the video you can see the road that's right beside him, which makes me wonder who all heard and saw this. But this was also the most mad I think he's ever been besides the Panera Bread incident. And this tops, I think, even the Panera Bread incident, because this has to be his most insane or psyched out moment, as he's foaming out the mouth, threatening the police and Bob, while yelling and hitting himself. Definitely one of the craziest moments by him. Daniel's banned list. Someone on Reddit made a whole document that's on screen showing all the places he got kicked out of, trespassed, or banned from. It was a super long list with over 100 places if you count duplicates and other extras. It shows another insane stat, which is 71 or more TikTok accounts, 20 YouTube channels, 12 Twitter accounts, and some other accounts and apps he's gotten banned from. I would never think it was actually 71 TikTok accounts, but that is absolutely insane. That has to be the most insane stat I've seen. That means he's made either so many email accounts or something to make new accounts every time. From looking at the chart, he's mostly done the most or got caught and kicked out of places the most in Colorado, but he's also been kicked out of places in other states. I don't know who made this list, but shout out to them for making this super cool and interesting list. After this list, he was kicked out of a Taco Bell and a job interview due to quote-unquote past threats, as well as another job interview for his nude photos on Reddit. Another good idea, which I thought about a long time ago but never said, was I wish someone would do a list of all the crimes he's done and count up how many years he'd face and such. Because he's done so many like dine and dashes and stuff if you add all of them up, and also add up all the stuff that he has done in the past, and even the stuff he has been caught for and sentenced for. I'd love to see how many years he would and how much he's done of each, just like this list shows. So if someone could please do that, I might ask the Reddit myself, but if someone else can do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, it will definitely show up in the next episode if I do find that, because that would be super cool. Daniel's health. If you don't know, I do a part in some videos where I update you on Daniel's physical health if there's anything to really update you on. It shows us a picture of maybe his foot or an injury or something. I usually try to add it into a section of its own because it's kind of interesting to see him abuse the human body, because he still have scratches in certain places. There's certain like problems, like maybe his teeth or something, like he's missing a lot of his teeth. Scratches he'll get and such that are, or like scabs or just other stuff. And for this time, he showed off his feet in a few pictures, and I'm not going to show anything just in case, but I will describe it. It kind of looks like his ankle is swollen on one of his feet. He's gotten 2 spots on the bottom of his foot that look like they've had a little bit of scabbing. It's probably past scabs that are healing over. It looks like it's 2 spots on his foot. Another bad part he's shown of his foot was his toes. His feet haven't been washed in forever, and you can see that as there's dirt in between his toes, and there's just dirt all over his foot. I would say, hey, maybe it's just the sock, but 1, I'm pretty sure he wears white socks, and 2, he doesn't shower, and some of that looks like actual dirt wiped on him because it's brown colored. So even if some of it is just his sock, there is also still dirt there, and also he hasn't showered. The most alarming thing is his big toenail, which his big toenail is at a 45-degree angle and black, like straight black, and I have no idea if it's infected or what, but it looks terrible. You can only abuse the human body for so long, but some things like an open wound or like a infection in your foot like that, I think would easily fold under any abuse, because like he's using his feet all day, they're getting overworked, he's not showered or anything, so they're dirty, the infection is dirty if he has one. So it's interesting to see, and it's interesting to think about, because how long until like something so bad happens where he has to get something amputated or like something of the sort? Maybe what if Daniel lost like some of his toes or something, he like ended up showing it off? Oh, and then like if he got sent back out into the streets with like stitchers or something, bro, he would definitely break those. That's so... Oh, I don't like that idea. Oh, no. He was also in the hospital for supposedly food poisoning and then got held there for mental health reasons, but was released after, I think, a day or 2, maybe a few, I don't know. Flexburger versus Daniel Larson. Flexburger is someone who has been around for a while in the Daniel Larson community, and on April 19th, he posted a tweet that said, "My brother hit a lick last night," then showed a picture of someone who actually got Daniel's Colorado ID. Then he shows another video of his supposed brother flexing this on Daniel through a restaurant window. I thought this was pretty funny and interesting. Imagine having a relic like Daniel's ID. I wonder how he even stole it, because, like, I don't think Daniel has a wallet. I don't know if he does or not, but how did you steal his ID? Like, that's actually so interesting. Like, that's such a relic. I would love to have something like that. Daniel Larson sleeping at a school. Daniel admitted on his YouTube community tab that he fell asleep at a school that night, but he also made a post saying that he wasn't allowed near schools, which I thought was a little funny, but also it's really weird because why would you sleep near a school, especially when you're Daniel? You know, it just makes it even worse. The end? Daniel was arrested on April 30th. The reason was unclear, but after some time, the truth was uncovered. Firstly, the arrest record didn't say a charge, it just said courtesy housing for another agency, which meant some people were involved. Whether it was the FBI, another agency, or due to some other charges or warrants in other counties or states, something was happening, something big. After time, someone on Larson Lee got a hold of Daniel via jail phone. Here's the conversation.
Please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number at that private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, thank you for using
Property of Larson League.
You may start the conversation now. Hello?
Jesus Christ, Daniel.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you, bud?
Oh my god. I'm doing okay. The
We-
feds pretty much got me.
The feds got you?
This time the feds got me. And Bob told me that it wasn't going to happen and he didn't believe me. And I went to probation yesterday and sure enough the feds were there and they charged me with 7 counts of threats from the threats that I made.
7 counts of
by
threats?
Clark and Associates.
Yep. Under federal court.
Holy.
Yeah.
So this.
And not only that, the feds apparently are looking into Bob for his finances, and the feds are also, on top of that, now looking into my bank statement, see the real amount that he was giving me.
So they think Bob was also committing fraud as well?
They think that he's committing fraud through his bank account, or is he giving you cash and you're putting it into your bank? And I said both.
And why did they take you up to? Are you in?
Property of Larson League.
What the? Yeah, because I missed your call last night because I didn't have my debit card or my credit card with me, and I was like, all right, I'll just have to wait till tomorrow. Everyone said you.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
It's okay. I did also talk to the public defender. I have court on Monday.
Okay.
Okay, and it is federal court. They were saying that I'm a flight risk and all the garbage, that they're going to say. But, okay. But they're looking at trying to put me in,
Property of Larson League.
higher security housing.
Jeez.
So it would basically be basic housing, just like on release. They're saying that yes, I would be facing prison time if convicted, but my public defender was saying that with me being homeless 5 years and being out cold weather,
Recorded by Clark and Associates.
die and I'm panicking. And when I panic, I say things that I don't mean. And I didn't mean the threat. I don't know how to make explosives, stuff like that. They said that, that is true, and that is, I guess, good defense.
That's perfect to say. I would listen to your public defender because he's 100% right. There's no way you could actually make a bomb or do anything that you said.
Right, and I don't have a violent history like anything like that.
Exactly.
The main concern the judge said is that it is one step away from doing so, and that's their concern. If I get back out, and they're also concerned that if I get back out, I will go back on social media and
Property of Larson League.
right. And that's what the judge said. And you know what? I'm okay doing a little bit of time. You know, I would rather show I'm going to be good, you know, than create more issues, right?
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, you did well at your 27 days, so.
Right, all of you. Okay. I'm going to get Grace's number. I'm going to get Tina's. My public defender also said that they were going to reach out to Grace.
Okay.
So they might reach out to you. They might reach out to Grace. But I did tell them that, yes, we are engaged, and they're going to try to reach out to her.
Okay.
Property of Larson
Let her
League.
know that, like, I'm okay, and, you know, they wanted to see what she wants as well.
So are the charges like threats against the government or something? Like those?
I guess they're considering, they're calling it interstate threat.
Okay.
They're saying that it's threats and interstate threat. They're not calling it like terrorist threats. They're not saying anything like that. But they are saying their biggest concern is apparently DDRC. They had to fully evacuate.
Jeez.
Recorded by Clark and Associates.
And after like comments you made one time, they had to evacuate like the whole building or something.
Yep, and they brought in bomb sniffing dogs.
Jesus Christ.
Because like DDRC gets took associated. Which, I mean, proves kind of how stupid they are. You know, because they know me so well that like they know I'm not going to do that. But kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, like why would they even waste their time? They know who you are.
Right. Like, they know who I am. I don't know why they're going to waste their time. And not only that, the FBI is still saying things about you. And not only you, but now the Discord server. Because I know you're
Property
not
of
even
Larson League.
What were they? Jesus Christ, this is a whole mess now.
Yeah, so the feds are just trying to get me, you know, like they're trying to call me crazy when it's like, no, because this is what I did, and
I agree. Why would you lie? And I mean, was it McDougal that picked you up, or was it different Secret Service?
believe it or not, it was McDougal, and he did actually say that, like, in the end, he doesn't really care that I did the threat against him, which, yes, it's a concern, and I shouldn't have done it, you know, but he said in the end that he cared, and he still, you know, because if he cared, he would cut contact. It's kind of just ridiculous, if you ask.
Yeah, it's like I guess he's trying to do his job, but then he knows you so well. He knows the threats shouldn't be considered real.
He knows that they're not real threats.
Property of Larson League.
Well, you know, like, his concern as well was, like, he asked me to stop the first time, and I didn't.
True.
And I guess that is his point.
And he did ask me to stop, saying that I was an actual lawyer before, because I was still a law student, and he did get mad about that. That was a thing that started the whole thing for me.
Well, yeah, and I mean, when you first got contact, right, it was under crazy circumstances. So
Yeah.
people were lying for safety.
True.
At this point, I feel like people need to now tell the truth of what's really going on.
Oh, no, I agree. It's all going to come out anyway in the trial, so.
Right, and I mean, Tina, because I mean, Daniel McDougal also told me about
Property of Larson League.
Tina's comment and said, like, didn't Tina say don't contact Grace anymore? And I'm sitting there going, like, that's months ago, years ago. And since then, Tina is now understanding of what's going on.
Jeez. So, yeah, that Instagram comment from a while ago.
But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you back
Okay.
tomorrow. Okay? We might need to figure out a way to put money on my books.
Okay, I can help with that.
Property of Larson League.
Daniel was going to a probation meeting of his, and the FBI or someone of the sort was there to arrest him. We learned that he was arrested for the April 6th Crashout, and maybe some other times he threatened the White House and the police, or any other government agency, or anything of the sort, as he's been charged with 6 counts of use or threatened use of explosive material, and 1 count of interstate communication of threats. The threats of using explosives gives him 10 years each, or a $250,000 fine or both, and the communications threats charge gives him 5 years and a $250,000 fine. So he is facing 65 years and $1,750,000 in fines on 7 federal charges. He supposedly will have more charges in the future, as he has made over 100 confirmed threats. Dylan Clark was also supposedly questioned by the police and made a Reddit post about it. Supposedly Dylan Clark was questioned by police sometime after the arrest, and supposedly he was there. I don't know if any of this is true, so I'm just going to be going over key points because a lot of people are not believing this, and it makes sense. And also there isn't really much proof here. He says that the FBI came around his house at 7 a.m. and started questioning him, and talked about the relationship with Daniel. And they asked if he had any inappropriate pictures or videos on his phone, talking about if Daniel did. And apparently he's trying to say that Daniel had a gun. He's also trying to say that he gets 8 felony counts of terroristic threats and being investigated for 2 counts of possession of CP. And he would supposedly possibly speak at trial, or if he would testify. And some of this does not seem realistic. One of the first holes here is that if he did have a gun, automatically be a charge on here anyway, be an extra one. Or it'd be brought up by now, I feel. If he did have a gun, then I guess we'll figure out sometime in the future. Also, it's not 8 felony counts, it's 7 federal counts. To be honest, if they're really going to look into his possession of CP, it would make sense because they're going off of stuff he's posted online and such. So, I mean, that's possible that they're trying to look into his stuff for CP, but the likeliness is I also don't know how realistic it was for Dylan Clark to be there with him, because I feel like some information would have came out sooner. I think Dylan Clark actually posted on a Discord server some pictures of police supposedly being at his work. So maybe maybe he was questioned by police. Maybe it's true. That's the only real reason I believe it, but it could always be faked. I was going to make a read out the full post and stuff, but I don't really feel like there's a point because some of the stuff doesn't really add up. Some of the stuff doesn't really make sense, and honestly, if it is true, we'll just figure out in the end, and if it's true, then he'll prove us all right. So while editing this video, there was some new information that released. One of the first things I'm going to talk about is Daniel is getting a psychic evaluation, specifically to determine Mr. Larson's ability to understand the nature and consequences of the proceedings against him and assist him in his defense. Which, before, he said that he just had to plead guilty on everything because his court-appointed lawyers said he wasn't competent enough to go on trial. So he said that himself, and I feel like that's actually real because I feel like he wouldn't call himself incompetent. He might fail this psychic evaluation. We'll just have to see. I'm guessing if he does, he'll be put in a mental hospital or whatever. I don't really know what the prison equivalent is, but probably be something like that, and then maybe he'll have a sentence in there. And then also we figured out that he has a court-appointed, he has a federal public defender, and public defenders can help you out a little bit, but not a lot. Well, they can help you out, but mainly their job is to kind of just sit there and make sure that there's no funny business going on and make sure that you actually get a fair trial. And if someone can explain this to me in a court document, it says speedy trial. It says P&T period 30 days, which I don't know what that is. I don't know what a trial clock is, but it says 30 days. Which I'm guessing that he has about 2 months and 10 days to, get ready for trial. And then custody clock 90 days, which I don't understand that. But our latest date is August 8th of 2024, which I guess is whenever this ends, whenever his custody clock ends. But I feel like they're going to keep him for longer than that, and I feel like this whole situation will be done bit quickly. But it looks like he's doing a speedy trial, but at the same time pleading not guilty, which is weird. and I don't know how that's going to work. But any more information I will give you all. I'm a little annoyed because people are saying like, oh, he'll get just a year and then get out in 6 months on good behavior. How do you get 7 federal charges and then just get a year or 2? You know what I mean? Like, it's just on a public defender. It doesn't make sense. And it's really annoying that people say that. But whether he, fails the psychic evaluation and then gets sent to a mental place, or passes it and then goes to prison, going to prison would be better off for us. Like, it'd be something he actually deserves. But of course, being locked away is just what he needs to be in general. So I've waited some time before uploading this video to see if I could get any update on the trial, but nothing has really came out yet. It is somewhat fresh though. I'm wondering if they will add more charges like the CP and stuff later. I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm not a Saul Goodman, so if anyone knows how law works, does anyone know if they're going to drop more charges soon, like, put more charges on him soon or what? But people are saying Daniel will not get the full 65 years. As much as I hope he does, he probably won't. I don't think it's going to be a few years like everyone says, though. Some people are just guessing he'll get like maybe 5 or 3 years and half of that on good behavior. If what all he said was true, then he's looking up to a long time. I'd guess at least 10 years, hopefully 25 to life, as he's looking at so much, from at least 7 federal charges at the moment, 10 years for 6 of them and 5 for 1 of them. Then on top of that, he broke probation another year, or I think around 4 to 6 months of probation. That's like a couple as well, like, violating a few probations, I think. So there's got to be some add-ons from that as well as anything else pending or anything else that they are planning to put on him. If he had a gun, that's more. If they look into any of the pedo stuff he's done, that's even more. Going off of what is confirmed now, though, it looks like we are finally near the possible end. It's interesting to me that he went with not guilty, considering that he most likely admitted to the cops. He admitted it on a phone call, at the very least, a recorded jail phone call he admitted this to. So there's like evidence right there that he did it. And also, there's a whole video. There's a video of him doing it. There's a video of him saying all this online. The only thing that he'll probably try to do is an insanity plea, which is hard to get and is very unlikely. And it's not better than prison itself. I mean, even though he'd be in protective custody, which he probably would be in prison anyway. But I have no idea how long it's going to take for all this to get worked out, or how long till he is sentenced. If anyone can give me a guess on that, let me know. So far, I've no updates on any of that type of stuff, like when the next court date or anything is. I've talked to some people and decided not to wait for any more information to come out and just go ahead and make the video. But I will update you all when he is sentenced. Any legal stuff. Daniel apparently got into a fight while in jail already. There was also 2 other phone calls from Clark, the fake lawyer, dropping a bunch of the truth on him, trying to give Daniel, I guess, a little bit of a wake-up call.
Okay, Daniel, I need you to listen completely for the next 10 minutes, and I need to talk to you, okay? I need you to not interrupt me, and I need you to be serious right here, because this is probably the only time. This is one of the most important things I'm ever going to tell you. All of this has been, it's fake, man. I mean, I'm not Clark. I'm not a lawyer. I don't work for Interscope. Grace doesn't want to talk to you. There isn't Grace. The only reason Grace knows you is because she thinks either you're a predator and creep, and the only time you've ever talked to Tina was because she was telling you to back away. I mean, it hurts to say UCLA was fake, Interscope was fake. Every single thing that we did, it was fake. I mean, none of that was real, Daniel. I mean, and I can't keep leading you on here. And to be honest, you do need to learn your lesson. And I know we've acted like friends for the past, 9 months. But really, you're a sick guy, man. And I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. And I would see you send those to 15-year-old Sky Brown, say your things. You need to get some help. And I've been recording everything. We even worked with McDougall for a while. And I'm done. It's over, man. There isn't anything else to say. I've been lying to you. I've been faking fucking everything. Grace doesn't even know who, if she knows who you are, she thinks you're a weirdo. And yeah. I mean, and I get some circumstances, but at the same time, you really are a menace to the streets of Colorado. I'm a 20-year-old kid from St. Louis in community college, and I know literally nothing. So, I am going to say I won't be answering any more calls anymore. This is probably the last time we'll ever talk. But you don't. That's the thing, Daniel. You keep convincing yourself, Grace and all that. It's not, she doesn't want you. Like, I've never talked to her in her life. How do you think all our calls end up on the internet, too? Like, I mean, you're, and it's over, you know? I'm sorry, not really at the same time, because this has been the fucking weirdest 10 months of my life, and I've had to been talking to a pretty much pedophile for that whole time while also hurting my image. I even got fired from my job in real life for this, Daniel. So, no, I'm in the middle of the most important call of my life right now.
To be honest, I kind of knew that you were and that's why I kept questioning everything. Hello?
Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
Okay, so
Sorry, before you say anything, I want to tell you that I am extremely sorry, and I want to try to fix our friendship.
I mean, it's not just, I feel like you have a lot of people to say sorry to, mostly, not just me, more like Bob and the restaurants and all the people that, even Grace, in a way, for tormenting her and her family for the past couple years.
I agree, and I will take the blame, but I want to fix everything. You know, we all make mistakes, and, you know, we all make mistakes, and it's how we move forward that matters, right? And it's how we make progress.
I agree, and I know that Bob's been talking to you recently, so I hope you said sorry to him and everything, because I'm surprised he's even still talking to you after everything that went down.
I understand. And, you know, with Grace, I also understand what you said about it.
And that starts with me being honest, too, and I regret even all the fake Graces and all that. Yeah, that wasn't right to do for Grace, too, because I don't know her in real life, and I know she was probably not happy with people pretending to be here for the past couple years. So that does start with us, too. But, I mean, the way you took it was a little too far in some ways, and, I mean, and I do think...
I do agree.
Yeah.
You know, we've been in contact for so long now, you know what I mean? I want us to be friends.
I mean, you do understand everything I told you, though, in the last call. Like, all of this has been pretty much made up. I know it's hard for you to know, but you got to realize that before the trial, before they think you're crazy.
Right, and, you know, I agree.
I mean, and
I do have to say that I do kind of know I do know what my public defender is going to ask tomorrow, but I don't know if they're going to approve it this time or the next court date. But I do know that we're making progress in the right direction.
Okay, well, I think this was a good conversation, but everything starts with a couple sorries here and there. Do you have anything that you want to say to, like, everybody out there? Like, because I'm guessing people are going to get these phone calls through that, so you should, if you want to explain yourself to everybody on Reddit.
You know, I want an apology to the entire fan base, and not only his fan base, but I want, an apology going out about the meaning of the phone call, stuff like that.
And just everything, even Sky,
Like
bro.
literally everything at this point. I mean, if we go into detail, it's going to be way too much right now.
True.
You know what I mean? And we're on a timed phone call with, money going through. I'm to a point to where, I want to try to fix this with everything, and I want the real truth to be heard.
And the truth will be heard, Daniel. So I gotta go, but I'm out. See ya. Clark out.
Daniel will never stop doing what he does. Even though Clark tries to tell him the truth and set him a little straight, it's not going to work. People have tried this before in the past, and it's not going to work. I hope the police, the jury, and everyone who now has to watch over him realize he is going to go right back to what he was doing before if he gets released. He is a liar and a big one, who is mentally ill and should forever be in a prison cell and never let out. He's a person who has done so much damage to kids, old people, and disabled people, and the common man, restaurants, property, and a whole lot of stuff, and a whole lot of damage that isn't even on his record. He's a repeat criminal both on and off record. He has a past record of multiple arrests and multiple other things, so I hope the government and the jury does the right thing. There's so much proof here that he should not get a light sentencing. If they don't do what's right and give him a good, long sentence that will hopefully be his lifetime, it's just another example of the government failing us. But for now, that's all the information we have.
It's a pretty interesting ending, as Daniel's last community tab post was, "I'm on the bus now to Boulder, Colorado." And then after that, he got straight up arrested.
I'll make another video when more information is released, but for now, there's nothing really else to say or tell y'all. End. Before I end the video, I show memes from the community and also cringe clips of Daniel, but stay till after as I have some stuff I want to say to all of you.
Honestly, thought I had some cringe clips this time, but apparently I do not. So we're just going straight to the funnies.
The first one is by Upstairs-Landscape88 saying, "Daniel at any minor convenience." By Lock Zen says, "Average Daniel Larson fan meetup."
Welcome back, boss. Another successful mission. Great to see you safe, boss. Snake, you stink.
That is so true. I wonder how people have actually stayed around him. You can only imagine the stench. Happy Man at 1012 posts, "Wait until the end."
Hey everyone, please come on down to Press Play in downtown Boulder, Colorado. See you all soon.
There's also a post here that is two screenshots. One screenshot is of a Daniel community tab post saying most politicians are, and then someone commented under it saying they don't call you Mr. President for no reason. There's actually a screenshot from another Daniel community tab post saying, "Grace just told me this person has been stalking me and now has been following me around with a gun," showing a picture of Gypsy Crusader. There's another screenshot here, and it's two screenshots together, and it's one of Daniel saying, "I do not support Hitler" on a YouTube community tab post, but then shows a picture of him saluting, like doing the Hitler salute, which is an actual real thing, by the way. There's another screenshot here of someone editing Daniel's face next to Saul Goodman. And I remember seeing this episode where it's Lala right here. Like, it's someone that's dead guilty. Bassface Will 2 posts on Reddit saying, "The sub right now." And it's a bunch of soldiers reading Hitler dead newspapers, which is absolutely true. I love this one. I absolutely love this one. This is my favorite. That's why I left it at the end. Before I get to the final stretch and speech, I want to give a shout out to, they know who they are. I'm just going to put their link in the description below, and because they're kind of wishy-washy and they sometimes don't want to be, don't want the attention. Sometimes they do. But I'm going to leave a link in the description below as a shout out to someone. It'll have like shout out to or whatever, or the shout out on it. But it's basically the person that's really helped me make these videos and keep a track on Daniel. And without them, basically this video would be probably a mess. And just in so many other ways, like, I'd be so far behind, or I'd be having to constantly check on Daniel. So again, thank you to him. He knows who he is, and he's in the description down below. I'm not going to say his I'm not going to say his name because, sometimes he doesn't want that, and that's okay. But yeah, it's in the link in the description below. Go check him out. I want to say thank you all for the support on this series. It has truly helped my channel get to where it is now, and without everyone's support, I wouldn't be doing my lifelong dream. Ever since I was little, I wanted to do YouTube and get paid for it, and now I'm finally doing just that. It seems corny and lame to say, as, hey, saying it out loud, it kind of is, as a lot of kids want to do that now, like want to be content creators, and even adults want to do it now as well. So it's kind of cringe, but I wanted to do it before it became a whole cringe fad. This series has had so much support behind it. I think we now have over 1 million channel views, which is insane. Thank you all. Really, like, it's actually insane to think about. Like, I don't know. The series has had so much support behind it, and I tried my best to make it the series top quality, as I do with all my videos, and I hope I did just that for y'all. I have more goals and more videos to make. The end of Daniel does not mean it's the end of my channel, as I have some videos I've been wanting to do for a while now, and finally will get the time to do. If any new information comes out on Daniel, I'll make a video on it. There's bound to be more arrest footage, old incidents come out, more lore on him, as well as sentencing of this case at some point, and other interesting stuff come out from all this, or just over time, which I'll make a video on. I'll be keeping an eye out. I'm glad he's gone, but the videos were special in a way, as, besides just making my channel, I love these videos. And as far as I know, I'm the first person to do an actual, like, sit-down professional video on Daniel, besides like people that made short videos on him, and not like whole deep dives. Like, I'm the original deep dive dude for Daniel, which is insane. This really, helped my channel. This whole series did. Even though that this series meant a lot to me and it's very special to me, it also did drag me down a lot mentally, as watching over Daniel a lot. Other people have had the same effect too, as it just mentally drains you some. But creating these videos is one of the few things I actually like to do, and actually gives me like true happiness. And, even being able to make money off of something that makes you truly happy is amazing. I just love creating these videos. I love doing these videos, the whole process of it, even though that some of it's tedious, like the editing and such. I love making these videos and getting, comments and, and everything from them, and everything a part of the video, like after publishing, I love. Now, I wanted to do a surprise for 10,000 subscribers, and one of the parts was going to be able to donate to me. If you can't afford it, don't do it, and you don't need to, you don't have to. Just watching the video for this long is even enough support, to be honest. But if people do want to send donations or anything, they can. And just so you all know, I do get like 70% of it, I think. I can't remember exactly. I remember reading and saw like 70%, so I think YouTube takes just 30%, which I think is important to tell y'all, because like, some people don't talk about it, and I think it's kind of interesting that they don't. I guess because, like, personal reasons, or not to sound greedy, but I just want to be open. YouTube takes 70% of it, but again, if you can't do it, if you can't afford it, don't do it. Just watching the videos and just supporting me like this, like commenting, liking, subscribing, is simply enough. And at the end of a video, your messages and your donation will be at the end of it, like an end credit, like how people do for their Patreons and stuff. To be honest, I was going to do the membership thing, but I have nothing really to give members only. If you all want me to do the members, let me know, but I don't really see a point of maybe a badge and some emojis in the chat, because I don't I don't really know what I could give y'all. I know that I could do like a locals or a Patreon and do uncensored videos and maybe getting the videos a day or two early. But let me know what you all want in the future. I low-key wanted to end this off, at least maybe the final part, on a little bit of Cyberpunk footage, as this started out on me playing Cyberpunk 2077 for the first Daniel video, and now we are here. There's a lot more videos coming. Maybe I'll finally be able to get to once a week or every other week videos. I want to talk about a lot of different stuff, like MMA and boxing and stuff. I plan to do another announcement at 10,000 subscribers when I actually hit it, which we are so close to if I hit it. And there's a lot of stuff I want to do in the future. I have a lot of big plans and some interesting stuff I want to do. But thank you all for the support, really. It means a lot. Update video at some point in the future. But till then, in the end, I'm PERK 30, and...
In conclusion, is the perfect example of what zero pussy does to a motherfucker.